Okay, welcome back to chapter 6. So we've just been having a look at big data and we've seen what big data is. Now we're going to take a look at what we mean by data science. So data science is a technique used by data scientists to turn big data into something more useful for the organisation. So we've got a definition here of data science. So it deals with collecting, preparing, managing, analysing, interpreting and visualising large and complex data sets. So basically that means it covers the whole life cycle of data. So our data scientists use a process called data analytics to extract value from the data to turn it into something useful. Now, data analytics is the process of using fields within the source data itself to collect and organise and analyse large sets of data. And what they're trying to do when they look at this data is they're trying to look for the patterns within the data and extract any other useful information which they can use to help them make their decisions. So what they can then do with this data is they can sort it into a more user-friendly format, perhaps by using a bar chart or a pie chart, and to display this information visually. Using data analytics to draw patterns from data requires human input. We're now going to have a look at computers and artificial intelligence that don't require input and see how they can be used within a business. So the first one we're going to have a look here is at intelligent systems. Now these are computer-based systems that represent, reason about and interpret data. Now these are very similar to our data scientists in that they analyse the data and they try and pick out the structure of the data and look for patterns within the data. But they're computers doing it instead. And these computers, what they try and do is they come up with strategies and identify behaviours that are required in different situations. The next one we've got there is artificial intelligence. Now this is where we've got computers that work and react like humans. So they carry out tasks such as learning, knowing, sensing, reasoning, creating things, and generating and understanding languages. So all behaviours that we typically associate with humans, but not maybe perhaps computers. And then finally here we've got automation. Now this is where we can use technology to control and monitor the production and delivery of goods and services. So this is where tasks that were previously completed by humans are now being completed by computers. So for example, some warehouses have got self-driving vehicles that drive around the warehouse, picking up stock off the shelves and bring it back to the operators. Okay, this last little bit we've got in this section is looking at the Internet of Things. Now, the Internet of Things is looking at the network of devices that are connected to the Internet. Now, all of these devices can connect to each other via the Internet and they can exchange data amongst themselves as well. So we've got some examples of technology that form the Internet of Things. So the first one we've got there is smart devices. Now this could be things like smart electricity meters or fitness trackers or radio frequency identification tags. The next one we've got there is software. Now typically this is going to be software that goes hand in hand with those smart devices. So if we take the smart electricity meter for example, we could have an application on our phone that controls the smart electricity meter. So say for example you come out of work one day and you feel it's a little bit cold outside, you can open up your application and turn the heating on in your house, so by the time you get home it's nice and toasty and warm for you. Another category we've got there is sensors. So this is typically going to be things like the black boxes in our cars that can monitor the way we drive, or things like motorway traffic sensors. Then our final category we've got here is security devices. So this could be something like a CCTV number plate recognition technology. As long as it's linked into the internet and can share its data over the internet, it would belong to the network of Internet of Things.